Here are some tips for new reagents experiencing the trials for the very first time. If you're over level 30, then these probably won't apply to you, but I mean, you can keep watching. The very first thing you should do when starting a game is going straight to your general settings and turning on the noise and darkness indicators. These are game changing, I'm serious. It can tell you when an enemy can hear you, or how loud you're being, and whether or not they can see you in the darkness. This will save your runs, and it's just so helpful to have. I'm not sure why these are off by default, but this is just very helpful. Do you want to get A pluses easier so Easterman can praise you more, or I guess to level up faster? Then you should be using every single battery you find, even if your battery's full or almost full. This tip can also apply to any adrenaline or throwables you find, as they also increase your score when used, but those are a little more helpful when doing specific tasks or trials, so use them according to your own discretion. And speaking of batteries, if you need to find one in a pinch, look for a door with a little red dot somewhere around the frame. Instead of just bashing through that door and getting a metal beam stuck in you, tap and hold to slowly open it, and then disarm the trap, which will give you a free small battery. These can be very helpful when trying to grind for points, or if you just need it if you're desperate for a battery. Speaking of increasing your points, you need to know that time doesn't affect your grade whatsoever. You can spend 6 hours in a trial and still get an A+. It's always much better just to hide and just kind of crouch walk throughout the map than sprinting around aimlessly and, getting hit by traps or alerting XPOP to your location. In the health and utility containers, sometimes there will be a small little tube or vial on one of the sides, and if you see that, you have to back away quickly, because very shortly that will dispense the same gas that the pusher uses, which will cause you to fall into psychosis, which is not something you want to do, unless you're a big fan of the Skinner Man, which you shouldn't be, but And speaking of psychosis, if you're already in it, why not just step on any mines you find? Stepping on these mines will not give you extra psychosis, they don't give you any extra debuffs or anything. These just permanently get rid of the traps throughout the map. But what if you're not in psychosis and still need to avoid the traps? Most traps can be crouched under, jumped over, you can break them with a stun rig, or a brick, or a bottle, and you can also step around them, but that's sometimes a little riskier. Usually in the Outlast Trials, the darkness is your friend, as you can reliably hide in it from almost every enemy in the game, except for 3. The Pitcher, the Night Hunter, and Jaeger. The Pitcher is a pyromaniac who loves Molotovs. You can always tell when he's entering a trial, as you can hear a scream from a pretty good distance away. If you're hiding in the darkness, try to hide behind some sort of cover or in a hiding spot far away or outside his field of view. Since he always has a Molotov lit, that means if he's close enough, he will see you in the dark, so it's always better to hide in some sort of locker or something where he can't see you. The Night Hunter is a former soldier turned XPOP who has the same night vision goggles you do, so even if you're in the dark, he will see you. You can usually tell when he's nearby as he breathes very loudly and loves to talk about the fact he can see you in the dark. Something that's different from you and him is that he can't take them off. So, if you're trying to rebirth and the lights turn on, he will get blinded and run away. So, just step into the light and usually he can't get you. Jaeger is a very special XPOP, as she can only show up on intensive and psychosurgery trials unless there's a modifier that allows her to appear. She is unstoppable, and usually your only course of action is just to run as far as you can. You can tell when she enters the trial, as a map-wide siren will be heard 3 times. She has night vision, is immune to all rigs and throwables, but she is extremely slow, like you can outwalk her slow. So, you can pretty reliably loop her around some objects, or, close a couple doors in front of her as she has to bash through them, or just open one of the liftable gates and she can't get you. Typically, if you do something like that, she will just exit the trial, but if she has enough time, then she will just try to find her way around. If you're playing with friends, she will only target one player at a time, unless you get too close, in which she'll just punch you. I hope these quick tips help someone new or someone who just kind of needed a refresher on the trials, as they change a lot and can be hard to get back into. Thanks for watching.